I've walked into networking events where I said, "Whoa, you know what? I don't like the vibe in here," and everything that I was listening to was wrong, and I walked out. So you could do the same thing with a person saying, "You know what? Excuse yourself politely from that one conversation and go to the next." But it's very important that you pick up the vibe of the person in a room.
You brought up something vitally important. Let's talk about this for a second. You talked about the vibe in the room, you talked about politely leaving. I know you, Michael, to be a master of hospitality. And that word means everything to me. And even the Tonight Show starring Johnny Carson, when Johnny, and this is an AI, this is not Johnny, but when Johnny had a guest on the show, he treated them like a guest in his living room. And that he for 25 years treating guests with hospitality. Now, I recently bought a car. I walked into one dealership, like you were saying, the vibe was just transactional, in my face. I want to get out of here, I said to my wife. So we drove an hour away to the same brand dealership because we wanted to buy a 2-year-old car. I'd like to get cars that are slightly over the curb, and we got one for only 2,000 miles on it. But when I walked in, the hospitality was over the charts. I couldn't wait. I said to I've been in car sales for a long time. I understand that's one of the ways I worked through college. And I know they've got a reputation. But I said to this kid, I want to adopt you. I felt 20 years old. He had an amazing story and true grit. He heard a podcast. That's why I love podcast listening, Michael. He heard the idea. He was a waiter, didn't go to college yet, and heard an idea of selling cars on a podcast. He went down to Auto Row in San Jose and walked into one dealership after the next, getting a no after a no after no. And did I fall in love with him because that's what happened to me? Me walking into NBC and asking for a job. That's what happened when he walked into one car dealership, the one we went to. And they said, yes. He said, I don't know anything about cars, but I'm energetic and I'm willing to learn. He was, and they love him at the dealership. That's hospitality. And that's what I want to focus on is the power of hospitality is the ultimate game changer in networking. You walked into an event, you didn't like the vibe, no hospitality. That's the key. That's the game changer.